بأي شريعة، بأي دين، بأي دولة يا سيد حسن؟
Good afternoon, you're watching the English newscast on Future Television. I'm Linda with today's top stories. The Kataeb Party vote for a new president in a contest expected to result in the election of MP Sami Jmail as party chief. A South African court grants an interim order to prevent Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir from leaving South Africa. And zoo animals are on the loose, triggering chaos in Georgia's capital and the deadly floods claiming the lives of 8 people. Kataeb voters headed for the polls in a contest expected to result in the election of MP Sami Jmail as party chief, transferring the leadership of one of Lebanon's oldest political parties to the third generation of a family that has already produced 2 Lebanese presidents. The poll started at 10 a.m. at the Kataeb headquarters in Saifi on the last day of the party's 30th General Conference, which kicked off on Friday at the L'Oreal Hotel in Dubai and closed at 3 p.m. this afternoon. In addition to electing a new Kataeb chief, party voters will elect 396 representatives, a deputy party chief, and a 16-member Politburo. After casting his ballot, Sami Jmail, who enjoys overwhelming support among rank-and-file members of the Kataeb, said he was proud that the Kataeb is the only party in the East that is practicing democratic life. The polls come almost 2 weeks since Jmail, 34, declared his candidacy and presented his electoral program during a ceremony in his hometown of Bikfaya, after his father, current party chief Amin Jmail, announced he will not seek another term. Mayor Patriarch Shadadai has lashed out at politicians, accusing them of steering the country according to their own interests and whims. During his Sunday sermon at Our Lady of Lebanon Basilica in Harissa, Rai stressed that no one is allowed to toss the country and the people in a state of chaos. He called on politicians to cooperate and prioritize the affairs of citizens who granted them power. Hezbollah's deputy leader Sheikh Naim Qassem has lashed out at the March 14 coalition for their criticism of his remarks on the year-long presidential vacuum. Qassem was speaking during a Hezbollah ceremony in South Lebanon. Describing March 14's responses as a form of meaningless wailing, the Hezbollah chief said the party will not respond to criticism coming from, quote, a helpless group that doesn't see right from wrong. In his speech last week, Qassem presented the March 14 coalition with a bitter choice, either to elect Aoun as president or face an indefinite presidential vacuum. His remarks drew heavy criticism from the March 14 coalition, especially the Future movement, who accused the party of disrupting the republic and its institutions and hijacking its presidency. Several hundreds of Syrian refugees fleeing intense fighting were waiting at the Turkish-Syrian border crossing as Syrian Kurds closed in on the Islamic State-held town nearby. Kurdish forces were advancing toward Tal Abyad, the only passageway linking the extremist group's stronghold of Raqqa with Turkey. Turkish authorities have not let any refugees into Turkey through Akakale crossing since Wednesday. A South African court has granted an interim order to prevent Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir from leaving South Africa, where he is attending an African Union summit, until it hears an application calling for his arrest. The International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant in 2009 accusing Bashir of war crimes and crimes against humanity related to the conflict in Darfur, charges which he denies. An application reportedly lodged by a human rights group was set to be heard in the Pretoria High Court at 3 p.m. local time to decide whether Bashir should be arrested. And moving on to Europe, residents of Georgia's capital have been warned to stay indoors after heavy flooding destroyed enclosures at Tbilisi's zoo, allowing tigers, lions, and other animals such as wolves and bears to escape. 3 zoo workers were reported dead and at least 8 people have died in the floods. Heavy rains and wind hit Tbilisi during the night, turning a normally small stream that runs through the hilly city into a surging river. The flooding also damaged dozens of houses. An escaped hippopotamus was reportedly cornered in one of Tbilisi's main squares and subdued with a tranquilizer gun. Some other animals have also been captured by police, while others were shot dead. It remains unclear how many are on the loose. And coming up next, a few reactions from the Lebanese Diaspora Energy Conference 2015. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Foreign Affairs Minister Gebran Bassil has praised the accomplishments of the Lebanese diaspora during the Lebanese Diaspora Energy Conference 2015. The conference aimed at further strengthening the bonds between Lebanese residents and emigrants worldwide. The Foreign Ministry says the purpose was to showcase the successes of Lebanese expats while celebrating the Lebanese heritage and promoting a positive image of Lebanon around the world. The event, which took place at the Hilton Habtour Grand Hotel, brought together more than 1,100 Lebanese expats from 73 countries, including Lebanese officials and foreign ambassadors. Prominent foreign politicians of Lebanese origin were present, including the Honorable Steve Bracks, the former Prime Minister of Victoria, Australia, and Fernando Capaz, the Parliament Speaker of São Paulo in Brazil. Successful businessmen of Lebanese origin also attended, including a delegation of the Australia-Lebanon Chamber of Commerce and Industry, headed by Chamber President Mr. Fadi Zouki, OAM. Here are a few reactions.
How important is this conference for the Lebanese diaspora and the Lebanese here?
Well, I believe that, of course, Lebanon needs its diaspora, and the diaspora needs Lebanon. And so it's always important to develop all kinds of programs, and when the central state is stronger, and then we can better develop these programs. And on a more than subject, I mean, of course, on the diplomacy and on economic relations, and also on cultural relations, and also on touristic programs. As I think when the touristic programs are better structured, we can create a sustainable tourism around the diaspora.
And in this session we will be announcing the establishment of a Lebanese school abroad, the Lebanese Diaspora School. There are a lot of Lebanese that are experts, they have degrees, they're qualified, they're educational, they serve educational institutions, and they are giving a lot to the world. I think using them in Lebanon, asking for their help, for their guidance, use them as advisors, all that will help us to put a plan in Lebanon, to try and work a roadmap at least to where we want to head with education. We usually, everybody in the world, they go looking for experts. We do have them in Lebanon. They are all over the world. We are hoping that during this conference we will meet a lot of them, and we will continue to work with them for the future.
There's many people in Australia of Lebanese descent, almost 500,000 people in a country of 21 million people, and so it's renewed all the time in Australia, and coming here sort of brings it home to me more significantly, and it also brings home what Lebanese have done around the world. Australia is one of the places we've done well, but in a range of places as well.
Do you hope to make any difference in this country?
I hope that we can enhance investment and trade. It used to be the case, of course, that Lebanon, Beirut was the hub for trade in this region. You'd love to see it happening again. That has moved on to other countries, the Gulf states and others. But nevertheless, there is an opportunity, I think, to look at inbound and outbound trade, tourism more broadly, of course. Family reunion is still a big thing from Australia here into Lebanon. So there is opportunities for that. And there's some companies who are doing well in their trade and investment here in Lebanon. So we'd like to enhance that even further in the future.
Last question, do you feel at home here?
I do, in a way, yes. I do feel at home. Certainly my home is Australia. You couldn't imagine it would be otherwise, but I guess it's my second home, which is great.
It's been excellent. I mean, the speakers have been fantastic. All the speakers have spoken about their love for Lebanon, and also started putting forward ideas of how to make the links stronger between the countries, because at the end of the day, that benefits everyone.
Is it going to have a positive impact on the country and bring perhaps more of the diaspora community members back to the country?
I think it will, because what's happened with Lebanon is you have a huge diaspora, but they've all been fairly passive about investing in Lebanon. So what needs to happen is to make them active participants in the economy. And the way of doing that is by having conferences like this, showing the benefits, what Lebanon has to offer, and also trying to ensure those things become stronger so that you can get people here, but also trade going the other way as well, because that's at the end of the day, you want investment and you want trade.
I'd like to say, first of all, congratulations to 2 successful Lebanese expats in Australia. How do you feel?
I feel great. Always, it's nice to be recognized for whatever work, but especially when it comes to doing work for the mother country, to Lebanon.
This is congratulations to all the Lebanese in Australia, because I'm only probably one of many, and they all deserve to be award for all the hard work and all the contribution to Lebanon.
What does it represent to you to win this award and to be here tonight?
First and foremost, hearing people talking on stage, it's very emotional because they're really talking about us, because we had the same plight, the same stories, and the same suffering and the same success. So it was a bittersweet journey for all of us. And I can honestly reflect it in my life and every person who actually migrated from Lebanon, who left this country not by choice, okay? And that's very important for people to know. They left because they had to chase their dreams, but more than that, also to get what Lebanon couldn't offer them abroad. And so it is very emotional, definitely very emotional.
Are you going to be here next year for the event next year?
Let's hope. We hope to be here.
I mean, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I will be back, but I would also like to give space for other people as well to enjoy it too.
I feel energized. I think that's the whole topic of this conference. And I feel a sense of pride and a sense of belonging, a sense of ownership. And I must say, I think the best is yet to come.
What do you hope for Lebanon?
I hope that everything that the Lebanese people are, that they can start loving themselves again, of who they are, and just their qualities that are so rare and so unbelievable. And I think they've lost that. So I would like them to firstly fall in love with themselves, and then to fall in love with each other and stop looking at the differences that divide people, but at what unites all of them. And that's really my heart for the Lebanese people and for all of us as a nation.
What would it mean to you to hold a Lebanese passport in your hands?
Well, the big thing is it's a generational thing. How do I tell my children and my generations that I'm Lebanese if my own country doesn't honor me? So it's a sense of handing over the baton and saying, now I can really say I'm Lebanese, and I can really sell the Lebanese diaspora principle to all my generations to come.
How do you feel to be back here for this event?
It was a great emotion because it's my first time in Lebanon, the land of my grandfather, and I was impressed with the multicultural society that I found here. I admire Lebanon and the Lebanese people, and I want to help. What I can do, I'll do it.
What would you do to help?
I want to gather all the best Lebanese heads in Brazil and try to work together, looking for Lebanon. Trying to come here to make some kind of interrelation between Brazil and Lebanon. I think the best fortune of the Lebanese are the Lebanese people.
Do you feel more Lebanese or more Brazilian?
Well, I'm Brazilian since I was born, but the Lebanon is inside us. It's in our heart, and it never left.
This marks the end of our bulletin for today. Now for a reminder of our top stories. The Ikate party vote for a new president in a contest expected to result in the election of MP Sami Jmail as party chief. A South African court grants an interim order to prevent Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir from leaving South Africa. And zoo animals are on the loose, triggering chaos in Georgia's capital amid deadly floods claiming the lives of 8 people. Those are your headlines for this Sunday. I'm Linda Tamim, and I thank you all for tuning in this afternoon. Take care.
بأي حق، بأي شريعة، بأي دين، بأي دولة يا سيد حسن؟